So now let's get into what the buyer's brain is actually asking, okay? Subconsciously, and your subconscious is a real thing. These are thoughts that are going on between you and yourself that you don't even know are happening, but they truly dictate the way we do life, every decision we make. And the reality is, you guys, subconsciously, buyers are asking themselves, is this actually going to work for me? Is this actually real, right? Is this simple enough? Am I going to be able to really understand how to do this? Do I trust myself enough to try something this new and actually see it through? One of the biggest thing buyers ask themselves subconsciously is, what if I fail? What if this doesn't work out for me? And if I'm being honest with you guys, I remember I asked myself the same thing. So you can't blame them because chances are you were there at some point too. So let's break down the subconscious beliefs one by one because once you understand their standpoint, it's going to be a lot easier for you to speak to them where they are. Okay, so many of them, when they're thinking, will this work for me? This is an identity based doubt. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your offer. It has nothing to do with your presentation. They're doubting themselves. They doubt that they can actually do something like this. They're comparing themselves. They're thinking about, the fact that they've never done something like this, right? They're not questioning your program. They're questioning how they are going to perform if they're actually going to be able to do it themselves once they're in your program. So when they're asking themselves, is this simple enough? This has to be a moment of reflection for you as the seller. Okay, because remember, when somebody feels overwhelmed, this is going to kill your momentum. You do not want your people to be watching you to feel overwhelmed. So you need to ask yourself, is my messaging clear? Is it straight and to the point? Or does it feel very layered or complex? Because when anything feels very layered or complex and not really easy to understand, the brain starts to slow down, and that's when they're going to put up that wall. Now let's talk about the person who's stuck in that do I trust myself phase, okay? The reality is, you guys, is that many buyers, they don't struggle with trusting you. If they're engaging with you, if they're showing up on their lives, if they're asking questions, they're already building that trust with you. The issue is that they struggle with trusting their own follow through. A lot of people struggle with consistency. A lot of people are trained to be employees. A lot of people fear stepping outside of their comfort zone and trying something new. And chances are you felt that way at one point, right? So I want you guys to remember that it really comes down to them questioning, like, what if I fail? No one wants to fail at anything in life. Most times, even before someone starts something, they're really telling themselves they can't do it. They quit even before they get started, right? No one wants to go through that feeling of failure because the reality is that failure equals embarrassment. And what happens when someone feels embarrassed? They feel that identity threat. They start to question themselves. They start to kick themselves while they're down. It's like an ultimate identity threat. Okay. And the reality is that our brain is meant to keep us safe. It's meant to keep us comfortable. The brain is naturally going to avoid anything that causes a threat at all costs. I want you guys to stay with this thought, okay? If your content does not reduce perceived risk, if it doesn't make someone feel safe, that's when the hesitation is going to increase. And that is the feeling you want your buyers to not feel when they're coming across you or your content. It really comes down to the fact that risk is emotional, it's not logical.